It's almost time. Champions League final is almost upon us. Wembley Stadium awaits Borussia Dortmund against Real Madrid. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video going to centre around the Champions League final preview. It's almost upon us, people. Edin Terzic takes on Carlo Ancelotti tomorrow in what is going to be a huge battle between Germany and Spain as Borussia Dortmund take on Real Madrid. Could Dortmund make it a second Champions League title in their history, or will Real Madrid take that number 14 and turn it into number 15 with a 15th Champions League triumph at Wembley Stadium tomorrow night? We're going to talk about this game. We're going to be talking all about this epic Champions League final that should hopefully be epic in prospect for tomorrow night. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things always are very greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions about the game. Let me know them all down below, people. But most importantly, let me know your predictions. Let me know who you're going with. Let me know how you think the game will go. Let me know how you what you think the score will be. Let me know who you think will be travelling a little bit heavier back to their respected home countries, with obviously extra weight of a Champions League title in their luggage. Who will be walking away with the incredible, illustrious Champions League trophy? Let me know what you guys think and feel down below in the comment section. I'm sure it'll make it interesting and great reading. Otherwise, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Borussia Dortmund against Real Madrid, Champions League final at Wembley tomorrow night. Look, I'm going to just address this right off the bat. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. I'm supporting one of these two teams in particular. I already have a favourite in mind. I already want this team to win. And I think a lot of people do, to be fair. I think a lot of people want Dortmund to get one over on Real Madrid. Not just because this game represents a perfect David versus Goliath type encounter between an ultimate underdog and an all-time favourite and an all-time global phenomenon. But as well as that, there's a lot riding on it for Dortmund in terms of what people hope for them and want for them. It's been an incredible Champions League run for Dortmund. They've put together some incredible wins and obviously Champions League nights in this particular Champions League run. The victories against Atletico Madrid being an example, that was an incredible night. The wins against PSG, of course, and now they've got one final hurdle to overcome, and it's a massive hurdle at that. It's a massive uphill battle against the favourites of Real Madrid. Don Carlo is waiting for Edin Terzic. It's going to be an exciting battle. I can't wait for it. So I like that side of it, and I think a lot of people do as well. I think a lot of people are liking the underdog side of it. They all love an underdog story, myself included. I think a lot of people may have a soft spot for certain players in that side, in that Dortmund side. Certain people might have a soft spot for their history. They're just such a rather likeable club, shall we say. And a lot of people may also like it for another reason. And that reason being Marco Reus, Mr. Borussia Dortmund himself, who is going to be playing his final game. Well, if he gets on the pitch, that is. I'm hoping he does. But could potentially be playing his final game tomorrow as a Borussia Dortmund player. He's going at the end of the season. He's gone. He's out the door. He's already said that he's leaving. What a way it would be to leave whilst giving Dortmund a Champions League title. And if he can obviously win it and also score the winning goal in it, that would just be the icing on top of the cake. I'm hoping that will be the case. I'm praying that that will be the case. I would love it to be the case. That would be blockbuster. That would be cinema. But of course, as we know, sometimes football doesn't quite work out that way. In terms of team news, Dortmund are seemingly going to have a clean bill of health. The only question mark does remain on Marco Reus. Does he start? Does he go on the bench? We know he's been a bit of a bench player across the season. There is no room for sentimentality on a Champions League final night, though, I'm afraid. So the likelihood is that Royce will be starting on the bench. And on the flip side of things for Real Madrid, there's no Aurelien Tchouameni. He's out injured. He's focused on getting prepared and ready for the Euros. So this game comes a little bit too early for him, unfortunately. It does maybe mean that Eduardo Camavinga may be moved into midfield. But elsewhere, the only selection headache that seems to be on Don Carlo's mind is who he plays in goal. Now, of course, he's got the ever-reliable Thibaut Courtois. He's been injured for large parts of the season and has therefore not been between the sticks a large part of this campaign for Madrid. But his stand-in has been Andre Lunin, who has been pretty decent in all honesty. And from what I can gather, and from not just obviously Champions League nights, but what I can gather from a lot more into detail about La Liga. Not that I'm a religious fan, I'll catch the odd game here or there, but has been pretty solid as well. So, again, similar to the sentimentality thing, do you go with the tried and tested Thibaut Courtois, who of course was a massive hand, literally and figuratively, in obviously guiding Real Madrid towards their 14th Champions League title a couple of years ago with that man of the match performance against Liverpool in the final? Or do you go with Lunin, who has been your standing goalkeeper for large parts of the season and has obviously not really put a foot or a glove majorly wrong on at least a consistent enough basis? Very interesting to see what Don Carlo picks there. Otherwise, like I said, apart from Tchouameni, clean bills of health going into this game, it seems. So it could make for an interesting game. It could make for a very exciting game. And it's going to be a game that is going to be an interesting tactical battle. We know that obviously Dortmund will adapt the same way that Madrid will adapt. And it's going to be interesting to see who adapts more. Because we know that Dortmund can be direct. We know that Dortmund can play some good football at times. And we know that obviously Dortmund are very good from a set piece. We've seen all ranges of Dortmund goals and Dortmund bits of passages of play from Dortmund being in this competition or in the Bundesliga across the season. But what we know about Real Madrid is that they also adapt. Ancelotti doesn't really have a set style of play. He'll have a skeleton and a base of how he wants to play, but his game more relies on adapting to the opposition. If he sees that the opposition are on the front foot, he'll drop a few yards. He's got no problem in adapting to drop a few yards in order to win a game of football. If he sees the opportunity is there for the taking, he'll progress. He'll push players up. He'll get players to move forward and to maybe be a bit more progressive on the ball, maybe be a bit more forward thinking, and maybe be a bit more attacking on the opposition. He doesn't mind doing either of those two things. He doesn't mind being pragmatic. Doesn't mind being a bit clever in terms of obviously things like time wasting and things like that. It is a Spanish side after all, so of course they are going to try and try and frustrate the opposition, I would say. I think they're going to try and slow the pace down to suit their game, their level. I feel like Dortmund will try and hit Real Madrid as early as they can. I think they'll start the brighter. I think they'll be quicker out the blocks. I think they'll have a very good start to the game. And it's all about what they can do in those types of moments. Because as well as they'll start the game, they may have a few 5 to 10 minute periods here and there as the game progresses that they will need to punish Real Madrid for. Because as we know, in this competition, Real Madrid find a way to win every single time. We have seen it time and time again throughout the years. We've seen it more than ever this campaign as well. Real Madrid find a way to win, whether it be on penalties against Manchester City a couple of rounds ago, or whether it was against Bayern Munich in very, very quick succession, down to, of course, Josselu's quick-fire double. They know how to get the job done. Carlo Ancelotti in particular knows how to get the job done. Dortmund need to punish Real Madrid in the moments that they are going to be on the front foot and attacking. And I think it will start off well for Dortmund, and then it will be a bit of a slow burner for Real Madrid. They'll slowly creep into the game, and then that's when they'll start to take control slowly but surely. And it's all about if Dortmund can make their chances pay and whether they can hurt Madrid in the moments that they are going to be on the front foot for. Because we know by experience that Real Madrid will bide their time. They won't worry too much. They won't panic. They'll simply bide their time and will slowly but surely take control of the game, and then it could be gone just like that within the blink of an eye. Because that is how Real Madrid operate. That is how Real Madrid have been so successful in this competition, and that's how Real Madrid have been so successful in this competition, especially this season, in getting to the final. So it could be a very interesting tactical battle in which both teams are going to have to adapt to the other and be flexible to the other. You probably would expect Real Madrid to have the strength and depth, of course, with it being Real Madrid, but Dortmund, of course, have a few decent players, but they're going to need them players to be on 100% from start to finish. So the experience and leadership of Mats Hummels, for example, is a key one for that back four. Him alongside Schlotterbeck are going to have the game of their lives tomorrow night. Elsewhere, youngster Ian Maatsen could finish the season as a Champions League winner after leaving Chelsea on loan this campaign. Emre Can, we know all about him, experienced in that midfield. He's going to have to be an absolute warrior in the middle of the pitch to try and counter whatever Real Madrid try and throw at them. And with the usual midfield three that we can sort of expect to see now in that Madrid front three, his job might be just stop Toni Kroos. Whatever you do, stop Toni Kroos. Sabitzer in midfield, we know how he likes to get forward. He's going to have to do a lot of running. We know he's very energetic. We know he's got a high work rate wherever he goes. He's going to have to do a lot tomorrow night. Karim Adeyemi is the same. That guy, I like the guy. He is going to be superb going forward. He's going to be super pacey on the front foot, but he's also going to trap back. And we know he works so hard in doing that. He's going to have to be up and down that pitch all day long, and he's going to have to give Dani Carvajal an absolute horrid time whenever he's going on the front foot. Julian Brandt, we know that he obviously likes to link up with Füllkrug, who will be up front. We know that those two like to link up with each other. We know that those two got a bit of a decent partnership and decent understanding going on. And they're going to need to be strong, physical, and of course be on the same wavelength of each other if they are to get the Champions League title that they all crave and desire. And of course, Jadon Sancho. What a story it could be for Jadon Sancho. Either way, an English player is going to be victorious in this Champions League title, in this Champions League final. And Sancho, after leaving Manchester United on loan in January, could be that Englishman and could be that guy to help them. Dortmund are going to be hoping and praying that he's going to be the Sancho that turned up against PSG in the first leg, because he absolutely tore PSG apart in that game. He was absolutely excellent, and they'll be hoping that Jadon Sancho is the one to turn up tomorrow night. On the flip side of things, at Real Madrid, we know how they're pretty much going to line up. We don't know about the goalkeeper situation. That could be a bit of a throw-up. But Carvajal, Militao, Rudiger and Mendy in the back four seems pretty solid and pretty much straightforward. Toni Kroos, like we say, he's going to be absolutely important in that midfield, as he always is. He ages like a fine wine. The guy is insanely good. Still at his age, the passes and the vision that he displays time and time again on a consistent basis is nothing short of phenomenal. Camavinga, absolute warrior in there. We know that. Might be worth putting a few quid on him to get booked alongside maybe Carvajal, maybe. Just saying. Jude Bellingham. What a story it is for Jude Bellingham. What a story it is for Jude Bellingham. The guy left Borussia Dortmund last summer, joined Real Madrid for big money, has already won a La Liga title, could be on the verge of a double in terms of obviously picking up a Champions League title as well, and is then going to carry that momentum on into the Euros. Early shout, could he be a Ballon d'Or contender if he wins the Champions League tonight and if he wins the Euros in the summer? Keep an eye on that one. Rodrigo right side, Vinicius Junior left side. That seems to be again pretty much straightforward for Real Madrid. We know that Rodrigo has a bit of a knack for scoring in big games. He seems to come up clutch a lot of times for Real Madrid in these kinds of big moments. So it could be very interesting to see how this one plays out. Sorry, should I say? In terms of how he's going to be. And obviously we know about Vinicius Junior. We know he's quick. We know he's lethal in front of goal. We know he's very underrated as well. In terms of on a worldwide football basis. So I'm very much interested to see these two in action tomorrow night on a grand stage like this. We know that both of them have been there and done it before, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that is going to go. And of course there are going to be other names and other battles going on right the way across the pitch in what is going to be an exciting and explosive range of talent and quality right the way across the pitch, whether you're on the yellow side of things or on the white side of things. Probably not the best choice of terms in terms of that. I mean, you know what? I mean the shirt colour. You know what I mean. The better way I could have put that, to be fair. But no. I'm very much looking forward to tomorrow. I don't really have a horse in the race, to be fair. I mean, I like Dortmund. I have a soft spot for them like a lot of people do. So I guess in some ways I kind of do. And I'm obviously hoping and praying that Dortmund come through tomorrow. And I'm hoping and praying that they beat Real Madrid in a true David versus Goliath encounter. But this is another one of those games that is my head against my heart. Because my heart is saying Dortmund. I want it for Dortmund. I want it for missing out on the Bundesliga title last season. I want it for the years of having to put up with Bayern Munich dominance time and time again. I love them to have their moment in the sun. I think it would be amazing for them after many, many years of just seeing Bayern Munich just raise Bundesliga title after Bundesliga title after Champions League title. I think it'll be amazing for them in that aspect. It'll be amazing for the history of the club. It'll be amazing for former managers, former players, current staff, and of course, in particular, for Marco freaking Reus. And like I say, if that guy can come on the pitch tomorrow and score the winning goal, that would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. Not necessarily sure it will happen. I can pray though. I can have my fingers crossed. I can say my prayers tonight. And I can say, please let that happen. I'd love it to happen. It'd be beautiful poetry. But we shall see on that level. But that's what my heart is saying. My head is saying, you never back against Madrid in these types of situations. And as a Liverpool fan, trust me, I speak again from experience of the past several years. You can't back against Real Madrid in these types of circumstances. They find a way to win by any stretch of the imagination, by any means necessary. They always find a way to win. And if you need proof, you only need to look back at the early stages of this competition. The penalty shootout win against Manchester City, the victory against Bayern Munich in very quick succession to knock them out of the competition. Madrid just find a way, and Don Carlo is the master at that. Don Carlo is the master of making you see a football game in which Real Madrid are not in control, doing the most subtle or however big the change is, it doesn't really matter. He's very good at just changing the game on the fly. He's very good at his man management style, and that's when Madrid go on to win. And it's going to be all about whether or not Edin Terzic can stay one step ahead of Carlo Ancelotti, and whether or not these Dortmund players can finish off their chances when it matters most. It's all going to be about Dortmund taking their chances and Real Madrid just helping Dortmund by having an off day. But even so, I always think in these types of situations, it always falls on the team. If you want to go out there and win it, go out there and win it. I'm hoping that the Dortmund players leave absolutely nothing left out there on the pitch. I hope they give it their all. And I'm hoping that we have a very, very, very incredible ending with Dortmund raising that Champions League title and going back to Dortmund with an extra piece of silverware in their luggage. I'm hoping and I'm praying that Dortmund win. That's what my heart is saying. My head is saying Real Madrid. And honestly, as much as it pains me to say it, as much as I hate saying it, as much as I don't want to say it, and as much as I it might sound horrible with me wearing this shirt right now, and then I'm going to say this. I can't back against Real Madrid. I'm sorry. I really, really want to. I really, 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 really want to say that Dortmund will win this game. I really want to say Dortmund will lift that Champions League title from the end of it. I really want to say that football will get an incredible moment, a David versus Goliath moment, and an underdog moment, a beautiful story. But I think we're going to get Real Madrid 15-time winners. And that's the unfortunate situation that I see us in right now. I'm going Real Madrid to win. The past 4 Champions League finals have actually, interestingly enough, been 1-0 wins. Manchester City beat Inter Milan 1-0 last year. Real Madrid beat Liverpool 1-0 a couple of years ago. Chelsea beat Manchester City the year before, I believe, 1-0. And I think the year before that, Bayern Munich beat PSG 1-0. So the past 4 finals have actually all ended 1-0. So could the cycle be broken, or could the cycle and streak continue of 1-0s? I'm going 2-1 Madrid. I'm going 2-1 Madrid. I think Dortmund will hit them early. And then I think whether it be through normal time or extra time, Real Madrid will find a way. I'm going 2-1 to Madrid. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm praying I'm wrong. I want to see an underdog story. But at the end of the day, I think we are going to see 15-time winners Real Madrid. I'm very, very sorry about that. Anyway, those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of the game tomorrow night? What do you make of Borussia Dortmund? What do you make of Real Madrid? What do you make of the game itself? Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, all of that good stuff about tomorrow night's Champions League final to be played at Wembley between Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid. Let me all know about that good stuff down below in the comment section, people. It will be great to hear from you all. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things are always incredibly greatly appreciated. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Come on, Dortmund. Please, 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 Dortmund. Please. I'm begging you. Please get the win tomorrow. Begging for you for that. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Dogs video, and I'll see you speak all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers guys, thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Speak to you all again very, very soon.